Know Me Yet Podcast Network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl LD, along with my girl Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's going on, Diva?
Hey, what's going on? We had a crazy week of sports, finals, everything. It's good.
It was
good.
real crazy for me because I was watching the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Jets, and the Liberty. But what we gonna do is
and because you were watching them, I was watching them.
Yes, and we gonna let's just jump into the WNBA championship.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
was
competitive. I'm pissed off that there's people out there trying to take clips and try to make it seem like this is what we had, the best we had to offer. You obviously did not watch the series because the series gave you great basketball, great women's basketball for the sport. And I don't think anybody was let down, not by the play of the game. Your team might not have won. You might not have liked how your team lost or whatever. But at the end of the day, we got to see some good basketball.
Yeah, it was definitely some good basketball from game one. I mean, in game one, if you depending on if you watching, you saying, damn, Liberty might be in trouble. They had two 18-point leads and lost that game in overtime. So that was crazy. Then they went back, they won the second game, they won the third game. So you're thinking, okay, they're gonna finish it out in the fourth game. They did not. Lynx forced game 5, and we back in the Garden, and all hell breaks loose on Sunday night. But I think it was a great series. In my opinion, I think the officiating was horrible the entire time, which has been the entire season in my eyes.
Absolutely. You have said it many times. You've said it many times that they've got to do something about the officiating. And now, it's weird that now all of a sudden, people are complaining about it. But when it worked out in your team's favor, you weren't complaining about it because the officiating has been trash across the board in multiple games all the way around. No one got special favors. It's unfortunate, but they got to do something about it. They have to do something.
Yeah, because officiating to me has cost teams games all year long.
Absolutely.
Not just the playoffs. It costs games all year long. Certain players get away with things. Certain teams get away with things or whatever. Optics is going to be optics, and what people see. The last thing you see is the last thing that you remember, and that's what sticks with you. So that's going to be that last play with Stewie. Was it a foul? Was it a travel? Why didn't they call this? Why didn't they miss that? I can go back to the first game. I'm a Liberty fan. I go back to the first game. I'm still trying to figure out a response to why didn't you call that ball out of bounds on Stewie? Because it was off her foot. Clearly, they showed it. Commentators, Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Rucco, they don't help either because they add their opinions to it. Oh, that was no call. That was no call. Shouldn't have been a call. You know what? That's fine. But it like I say, optics. The commissioner, I don't know if she's brain dead or not. I'm gonna say it. You don't come out in a New York you don't come out in a New York skyline dress. It's like, what are you thinking? Because then all you're doing is adding to what the perception of what people are thinking, that everything is rigged. I'm happy for the Liberty. They won. I like both teams. I'm a big Nafisha Collier fan, but if we want to act like the Lynx didn't foul anybody during these games and got away with stuff, they didn't. Here's the thing. That game went into overtime. The Lynx, you had just as much opportunity as the Liberty to win that game in that 5 minutes, and you did not do it.
Yeah. And I think that's always hard for people to wrap their mind around, because I should have won it in regulation. Well, you didn't.
You didn't.
And you got to, and just like everybody else, it's a reset. It's a new ball game. So you got to get back to doing what you were doing that you should have won it in regulation. And to me, I just hate that, because I thought both teams played, a great series for everybody. And I just hate that it ended that way. and we're going to talk about it. I'm not going to get on this coach because this coach is my closing thoughts, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So I'm going to skip that piece. If you want to talk about the coach now, that's fine. But she's in my closing
I'll discuss it when you discuss it in your closing thoughts. I just thought her press conference, she was frustrated. They caught her. You catch somebody after losing the game like that. That's it. Coach better, because hell, I'm still trying to figure out what she did in the Olympics.
We won it. Oh, Lord.
She's the coach. She's the WNBA coach of the year. She's the Olympic coach and all that other stuff. I'm not high on her. So that's I ain't high on neither one of them coaches.
My daddy called talking about what she doing.
Yeah, I ain't high on neither one of them, especially how the way the games. But I mean, to me, the players, that's what it's all about. Jonquel Jones, I couldn't be more happy for her. That
consistency
right through the entire series. Players that needed to step up, stepped up. Sabally came in and was like, okay, I give you 13.7 rebounds off the bench.
What?
But Sabrina Nescu, it wasn't her night.
And guess what? That's why it's more than just a couple of stars on the team. Everybody steps up and makes it happen. You understand what I'm saying? You got to get it from all areas. You got to get it from your bench players. You got to get it from your starting five. And I'm telling you, Sabally, man, that shit came in and she was absolutely on fire. And I thought to myself, you know what? They don't win this game without her. They just don't.
No, they don't. They don't. She came in and did what she had to do. It was, and I screw her name up all the time. Phoebix.
Yeah.
She's played consistent throughout the year. She's been consistent throughout the year. You take her off the team because she's got that big size for like a two, or she's not even playing a three. For a two, she's got that big size and she can hit that. Yeah, and she can hit that three. So just watching, I mean, that team just played, and Stewie was hell bent. Stewie meant she was gonna get a championship. She had 17 rebounds. She was not killing them shooting. Her shot just went, it was like she had no legs.
Well, I didn't even know she had 17. I thought she had 15. I thought she was 13 and 15, but hell, 17 even better. She was clearing everything.
That might have been overtime. Yeah, that might have been overtime.
Yeah, with the
overtime. But
because she was clearing everything she could.
She could block shot. I mean, and her and
that wingspan ain't no pump, right?
No, and they were trying to shoot. So when you look at it on the other side, Lynx players were trying to do some stuff they should have been trying to do. You got to get that ball. McBride was consistent throughout the series. To me, I think shots were taken away from her. Yeah, Williams had a great game. Shots were taken away from her by William. You got to get Kaya the ball. She's got to touch the ball, and those things just weren't happening. So I was just kind of like, yeah, you're right. Stewie was 15 and 13 in that last game.
Yeah, my bad. I was just trying. So, I was pretty sure.
Yeah. But so I mean, you just got to do stuff. Like Williams was 2 for 14 for the Lynx. Got to pass that ball to somebody else. Carlton was 1 for 6. Like these people, their shots were not falling. So did you lose the game because of the officiating? No, you lost the game because you just weren't hot that night. That don't take nothing away from your team, because I think the Lynx are a great team. I expect to see them back there next year. They're gonna be hungrier.
I mean, you think about it. Anescu was run me that stat.
She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn the first 3 quarters. I mean, she came off in the end. I mean,
she ended up with like 5 points.
She was 1 for 19.
Yeah. But she had like, I think 8 assists and like 7 or 8 rebounds or something.
She did. That's what I'm saying. She picked it up on the other side to do. Yeah. You make up for it. But 1 for 19. 1 for
damn near shot herself out the game though.
Yeah.
Damn shot herself out the game.
Yeah, she hit a critical 3. She hit a critical 3. You do what you got to do from the foul line, and you hit a critical 3. But when you ain't hitting that 3, you got to be able to drive to the basket. Like Stewie was driving. Stewie was doing this. Jonquel Jones was working. She was getting boards. She was blocking shots. She was putting them back. All that. She was blocking. But it's like you see all this stuff where people, they want to point out. And like you say, anybody, you can use the Bible. You can use this. You can use that. Politics, whatever, to skew things to make your point. So you can show this play, where it all went wrong. I can show you 10 other plays where it went the other way. So the parade is going to happen. And you can show video clips all year long, but the parade is going to happen and the championship is in New York.
And here's my thing. I know New York is going to act a fool. I know this first one, the first championship ever.
Yeah, they gotta. I mean, you know, they gotta have a good time. How can they not have a good time? They gotta have a good time.
Bet you making that trip. You making that trip?
Yeah. I'm thinking about it, and I figure out when it is.
If I was that close, I think I'd have to go make that.
Yeah,
trip.
I got to figure out when it is. You know, I do have a job. I got a day job.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, they don't pay me. They don't pay me to go to parades.
They don't pay you to go to parades, huh?
No,
not even when they win for the first time.
No,
huh?
They do not pay me to go to parades. I'm trying to.
I feel you, but I think I'll be trying to front load my week right about now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my sister to go. She don't like the crowds either, and I'm not. You know me, I'm not a crowd person. I'll go, but that's
really totally not my thing. That's totally not my thing. But
it's not mine either.
If it's the first in franchise history, I'll probably make an exception and try to do that.
I told her, I said, if I could look out of a window.
The window, Linda. Not the window. not the window, LD.
If I could look out of a window, I might.
Just the window?
No.
I
do. I would like to be. I would like to be to go down there and see that. I'm waiting on my boys to do that thing too. But I mean, just a great series, a great playoff run from everybody, and just a great season. And what a way to cap off a WNBA season. Game 5, final game, overtime. Hey, and the place was packed. The place was packed. I thought it was great. I thought it was
absolutely
great. So, you know, hats off to the Liberty. You know, we see what happens next year, right? Team's gonna have to reload. I mean, they didn't make it easy.
Man, listen. Don't take anything away from the Lynx was out there balling. Like it just didn't happen. Like you want a great game. That's what you want. And they took it to 5. Like, what else can you say? I mean, I expect them to come back and grind even harder because they probably do feel at some, place in their mind that they got cheated. Now get back in the gym, get to working, and then next year make it where they can't take it from you.
Right.
If that's how you truly feel.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll see. Let's move on to some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're excited. We move on to football. Let's move on to the NFL. Let's round it up. We have some injuries that's gonna really impact some teams.
Yeah. Whole lot of people fell out this week.
Well, we got one team standing cheese. What did they say? Cheese stands alone.
Man.
So the Chiefs are still to me.
They're undefeated.
Chiefs look ugly, and they still undefeated.
But you know what? I'm starting to just think you need to get used to ugliness. Okay, because here's the deal: when the Chiefs started this season, their team looks absolutely nothing now like it did when we first thought what we were going to get with the Chiefs. We thought we had Hollywood. No, we do not. Rasheed Rice. No, we do not.
I forgot all about him. When he coming
Pacheco.
back?
No, we do not. He not coming back. These season-ending injuries. Pacheco broke. Rasheed
I thought
broke.
What's his name shoulder. I thought it was a possibility.
They ended up holding off, and then he ended up having to have that surgery.
Okay,
that was a life-threatening injury because what can generally happen is you can punch your lung in there, and so that I knew when they started talking about that, I was like, this is a tricky injury, and they ended up going with the surgery. So you're talking about your one running back. And now you just lost Watkins on Watkins on your defense, your cornerback. Like, you broke. The team is broken. And then Juju pulling hamstrings, only playing like 2-3 snaps going into the game. So basically, they went tight end on him.
Yeah.
And then McCole Hardman did his thing. Hardman did his thing.
He did. He played well. He played well.
You know how I feel. I love me some Kareem Hunt. So
And I like Hartman. I just feel like Hartman ain't never really had the chance, and he got it. He got it this year.
Well, McCole Hardman is a speed demon, and he can. And the thing about it is, the Chiefs know how to use him. You saw that run back he gave. He around here and give you a run back. Then you do a little sweep. And he running that. I mean, they know how to make it work. So they have some gadget players.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably no organization better to handle gadget players than the Chiefs organization, with the mind of Andy Reeve coming up with creative things to do, when other probably teams will be like, what we got left? We got a couple short receivers and they fast, but they are not the best route runners. What are we going to do with these guys? But Andy Reeve is not somebody to play games with. This dude will find a way.
Yeah.
He will find a way.
I agree.
Now, I wish my nephew would get going. I wish he'd get going. But then I always keep in mind that if he's 7-0 and he's not quite ready yet, he's not quite on pace, God forbid he get going. It's going to be some problems. It's going to be some problems, folks. So, I know that he's going to get it figured out. Like I said, it's taking him longer. I think a couple years ago, he had like the first 4 or 5 games, he was kind of ragged. But now, I figure he'll pull it out. He'll figure it out. I see him looking better now. He's, like I said, it was a tip ball. The other one was a slip. So, tips happen.
We've always discussed it where we hate that call for any quarterback, because you're the one that gets screwed. You're the one that gets screwed when the person bobbles the ball, and
But you know what I always say though, at the end of the day, quarterbacks got a good quarterback gonna take that every day of the week and make it seem like they did something, because you get so much praise when everything goes well. It's only part of your job description to jump on some of these grenades when things don't, you know what I'm saying? When things don't look great. So, I like I said, I feel like he'll get it figured out. And I think the confidence of that team has to be off the charts, because we are now winning with, good Lord, tight ends and 3s and 4s at this point. You know what I'm saying? So if they mess around and Brett Veach brings some talent in there, or like I said, you gotta Brett Veach is at least shown that he is competent enough to take care of the defense. He's drafted great cornerbacks. So I'm not worried about the Watson thing. I think he'll plug that in, fix that. I mean, he's absolutely good at that, and no one can take that away from him. But I would love to see them go out there and get a DeAndre Hopkins or somebody to just help out with the
They
offense.
disappoint you every year.
They do. But I got hope. I got hope because I actually like Brett Veach. I love Andy Reid. I like that Chiefs organization. And I just feel like, they'll figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, they're 7-0. They got some wiggle room to figure it out too. You know what I'm saying? They got some wiggle room to figure it out. So I think we're gonna get something worked out. But I do hope that we get DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm throwing a subliminal message on it. Go get somebody else, please. A tall receiver. Please, for me. Go get somebody.
I know at one point you was talking about Mike Evans. I said he can't run but one route, but he's hurt, so I ain't gonna dog him out too bad.
Well, Mike Evans, I think obviously I wanted him at the beginning. I was like, man, that's, they act like they don't want to come back to get him. Mike Evans will do some damage anywhere he go, anywhere he go. But at the end of the day, I always wanted DeAndre Hopkins from before. I thought he could do something. Definitely can go up and get a ball. He definitely knows how to separate a little bit enough to just get what he needs to do. And I think Pat could work with somebody like that. I would have took Amari Cooper too. You see what Josh was able to do with them. So, but yeah, I'm throwing that out. That I threw out the Kareem Hunt. It came my way. Confucius say DeAndre Hopkins could potentially be on the way to the Chiefs if I keep on saying it. I'm throwing the energy out there.
You gonna throw it out there?
Yes, I am. Absolutely. Okay. I brought Hunt home. He ought to be sending me a jersey with a signature on that joint.
Did.
Oh my goodness. I prayed a many nights for him to walk back up.
You did bring him home. You did bring him home. I'm gonna give you that.
All right. You're right.
You said I brought him home.
I did bring him home. I brought him where he needed to be, where he started off and where he should finish.
Yeah,
brought him right
I'm happy for him. And it's like you say, most people, I ain't gonna say everybody, most people do deserve a second chance.
Absolutely.
Let's kind of go backwards, right? Let's talk about last night's game with the Bucks and the Ravens. Was that expected from you? Did you expect that?
No, I didn't expect them to dominate. I feel like it was dominant. I mean, the score doesn't quite show the domination.
10 points, but them interceptions were uncharacteristic
of my man.
I mean, they had some injuries, so you lost. You
lost Evans,
you lost
Godwin.
Yeah, I mean, they say it was critical. We didn't see it. Gruesome.
Well,
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it. I only want to talk about it. He's hurt. Yep. He's gone. That's gonna hurt them in the long run.
Yeah,
they're too.
Yeah, let me tell you, Evans is a hamstring, which we know we get him back. They got some young guys on there. McMillan, I think. I think he'll step up and do some things that may help Baker out or whatever. I early on he was showing some flashes, so he's got something, somebody there that he can work with. A couple people that he can work with to try to figure out. He's good at tight end. I mean, he didn't utilize him as much because he had Evans and Godwin. But now that you do have a serviceable tight end, so there's some things, and I think if they draw up some plays, they got some wiggle room that I think to try to get some things done until Evans gets back. I saw the injury. I don't think we will be seeing Godwin anymore this year, just off of what I saw. And I haven't checked anything because I've been in class all morning studying for my certification exam. But literally, I think Baker had a rough night. He had a rough outing. This team had a rough outing, but it's one game, and we know what they've been doing. And I know Baker's probably gonna walk in there right now and be like, "That's one game. We get right back to business next week and do."
Yeah, they had a rough night, but I also think that the Ravens had a good game.
Absolutely.
So the Ravens started off slow.
Derrick Henry did.
At first, right? You was going off. Why ain't they running Henry? They run Henry when they need to run Henry. They know what they're doing on that. So I got to give them that because I have no confidence in the coaching staff of the head coach of the Ravens. I'll say that every week.
This was like
when they started off the game, the defense didn't look ready. A couple of plays they caught him sleeping. And I still don't know what the defense was doing with White because they never knew where he was. So he was always wide open.
Yeah,
but they did get together. They started hitting. They started, they were covering down the interceptions that they had, clear interceptions. I mean, some balls I wish, I know Baker wish he could have had those back, but I was impressed with them. Let's go back. I want to back up some more. Let's go back up to Sunday night. The Steelers and the Jets. Who should be fired?
But first of all, let's talk about, remember what you said, what I was telling you about who I wanted to see out there on the Steeler field as the quarterback.
You said you wanted to see Fields.
I said Russell Wilson.
You said the question you asked me is, why would they sit Fields and start Wilson? And I said, what was the controversy? They said, wasn't no controversy because they said that Fields.
No. You misunderstood.
Let me finish. Fields was only filling in because Russell was hurt. So there was no controversy. Russell was always the starting quarterback. Fields is jumpy to me. I still think he got a lot of learning to do. So I was happy to see Russell out there. And Russell was smooth.
No, I think you misunderstood me. What I was saying is that to me, Russell was always the guy, right? But people are saying, why would you bench Fields for Russell? And I was saying Russell was supposed to be the dude in the first place. He just got hurt. Right. And so what happens is you get a backup and a quality backup like Fields is right now, and he goes out there and wins some games. And then first things fans are gonna say is, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, it wasn't. I ain't gonna say it was broke, but it wasn't great. Fields didn't look great to me. Fields made a lot of mistakes to me that they were like rookie mistakes. And I was like, if you get Russ out there with that team, you're gonna have a different team. And you had a different team. So
we talked about his
move on. They got a good defense, they got a good offense. I want to talk about the Jets and Aaron.
I know you got to get it. But hold on, let me just say, but we talked about the ability that Russell was gonna have from the experience of being able to read the pre read snaps and stuff like that. All that stuff. We already talked.
I never doubted
I don't
Russ.
think it was
He just
ever a
wasn't healthy.
doubt. It wasn't ever a doubt, but now you seen him. When I seen that big moon ball and I seen that sun go and drop, I was like, he's back.
Yeah, my
Anyway,
question, I never had an issue or question with Russ. My question, like I said, we can talk about Pittsburgh all day long. I want to talk
we
about
don't
the
have
Jets.
to.
So we done fired everybody on the Jets except for the right people. And we done went and got people that ain't making a difference. Maybe they will. What is their
do
record?
Devontae like that?
What is their record? What's the
Whole
Jets?
lot, a little bit and a whole lot.
But
I
whose
don't know
fault
how
is that? The record, they're 2-5. That's Robert Sala's fault because he was
I
home.
said a little bit and a whole lot.
Right. That Robert Sala was home the last 2 games. He was at the house. He wasn't in the facility. Aaron Rodgers is the problem. He's part of the problem. He ain't the whole problem. He part of the problem. You got a good defense and you got a solid offense. You can't get him the ball.
Say this. Aaron Rodgers is out of excuses. Okay.
He's been out of excuses.
You out of excuses.
Didn't they do better last year without him with the crazy quarterbacks they had?
You got Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and freaking Devontae Adams. And what is it, Conklin, whatever, have the tight end, you are, and Lazard, you are out of excuses.
You can name people all day. You got Breece Hall.
I'm a Jets fan.
You got Breece Hall.
I ain't even talking about Breece Hall. I'm just talking about his wide receiver core. But Breece Hall obviously is a given. But when you're out it, don't know if I'm a Jets fan, I want to hear nothing. I just want to see some W's.
It ain't just
Don't say nothing.
Aaron Rodgers stands up every week and says, "Oh, I've got to play better." Okay, we know that you got to play better, but stop pointing the finger at people. He pointed a finger last week at Williams, which I thought was horrible. He don't take accountability for nothing. He's not held accountable, and you fire the head coach because you say it's his fault. Well, this guy, he don't know what he's doing because he can't even get the flag out of his pocket. When he get the flag out of his pocket, thank God he did get the flag out of his pocket because they scored a touchdown. So there's something going on with that whole team.
I think gonna throw it back to him. Though.
Yeah, and I don't think Robert Saleh was the issue. But hopefully
Robert Saleh was the fall guy.
Yeah, but we know that. We know that. And Aaron Rodgers said, I got to do every week. I guess he gonna get a pass to say, oh, I got to do better. I got to do better. And I'm like, I don't. Okay. The Commanders. Now it was the Panthers that they played. Jaden Daniels, a little concerned.
Yeah, he had look, you see.
Riblets.
You're killing me with the riblets.
The riblets are bad. Yeah, riblets are bad week to week.
Yeah,
I hope he gets healthy because I think he's on his way to a rookie of the year type season. He's
absolutely. Great. He is so Stroudish right about now. He looks like he's gonna wrap that all the way up.
Yeah, he looks really good. They look good as much as it pains me to say that. I just think if they stay out of their own way, they'll do well. The Dolphins, I don't know what to say for them. Now, Tua will be back, but
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw that press conference. I did not like it.
Go ahead, talk about it. Okay, you didn't like it. What didn't you like?
I didn't like the fact that he seemed annoyed. The reporter said, "Hey, are you gonna wear the Guardian helmet?" No, personal preference. Like personal preference, dude.
It's his choice. He probably is annoyed that people are asking him a question because everybody thinks we're thinking what we think he should do. He's thinking what he thinks he should do. If he ends up with CTE, if he ends up with Alzheimer's, which I pray none of that happens to him, that's a choice he made. He does not have to play football. This is a choice that he's making. So
agree. But I just feel like he just sitting there so very casually playing craps with his brains. Here you go. Good luck. I'm just rolling 4-1. No, dude, you need to put this. That should be the bare minimum. I wouldn't even let you on the field if you didn't put a Guardian helmet on. The fact that you can get on there, but no, you're going to either wear it or I'm going to sit you. I'll personally bench you. Okay, like that's the truth. I'm not playing games with you because clearly you're not using your brains. Maybe CTs kicked in early, but you're not going to walk out on that field without a Guardian helmet.
Who can make them wear it? Who can make them wear it?
the coach that kissed him on the forehead when
No, he
he walked
can't.
by?
No, he can't. If it's
Yeah,
not in his
I would.
contract,
I'll
he
be
can't.
like, you can wear it or you can sit your ass on this
Okay,
pine.
they're not going to sit him because they're paying him millions of dollars.
But
So you can't
he's
make
no
him wear
good
it.
to him anyway if he go out there and get his brain scrambled
Right.
again.
If he does, then they'll sit him. They'll sit him again, put him on injury reserve, but they can't make him do anything. He's
Well,
made a decision. That's the whole
I
point.
was strong. I
It's his decision.
may not be able to make it, but I would strongly suggest, or I'd be like, or we have to go a different direction.
What they go a different direction. What is your direction?
Hell, stay where the one you on. Stay on that path because it's better than knowing that I let you walk out there on the field.
What path?
I couldn't
What do
sleep
you say? I don't understand what you're saying. What path are you saying? Stay on what path?
what they currently got going on right now. Hell, ride it out for the rest of the season.
Do what? What path is that?
What do you mean, what path?
You saying stay on the path they're on. What path are you talking about?
I'm talking about what your current quarterback that you have in place right now.
Okay.
Either that's what I mean by path. The current quarterback that's in place.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna ride Huntley out before I let you run back out there on that field.
Huntley hurt.
Like I said, well, he is now. But I'm saying that was the current path. Now we got to go with the Lord Jesus. If it's me, I'm on the phone with Cleveland trying to get Jameis, which may now not be an option.
No, because he's going to play for them. But what I'm saying is that they don't have many options if they're trying to win. And he wants to play, so you can't stop him from playing if he wants to play. You can't stop any player. We've had that.
You can always bench somebody.
They're not going to bench him. No, Tanisha, that's
you
my whole
saying
point.
They're not. You just said you can't. Yes, you can. You choosing.
They can
not
bench
to.
him. They will not bench him.
You're not. You're choosing not to. But you absolutely
right. They're not going to bench him. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's fair enough.
What player have they benched? You talked about Baker. Baker played hurt the whole time he was in Cleveland. They didn't bench him. They don't bench players when they're hurt if they say that they're good. And if they're clear, they're not going to bench them. So what's the reason for benching them?
Baker didn't have how many concussions? Baker,
matter.
I feel like Baker's quality life was not at stake because he had a shoulder injury. He was playing with a shoulder problem or whatever it was. That bad thing was a torn something. Labrum or something, whatever he's playing with at the time. Tua is different.
I'm agreeing with you 100%. I don't think he should play football ever again. It doesn't matter what we think. That's the whole thing. And that's why the kid is annoyed. It's his choice. It's him, his family, or whatever. It's his choice. So we can make all kind of speculations or disagree with what he's saying. He shouldn't do this. He shouldn't do that. He's a grown man.
But
he
is
can
it
do what he
his
wants
choice,
to do?
Linda?
It is his choice.
Saying. Is it?
Whose choice is it?
The organization can always.
If he says he wants to play, he can play.
Or I could sit on the bench. Like you said, everybody else
probably has some kind of breach. They're not playing. So if he goes public and say they're not playing him just because they think he might get hurt, then don't play nobody in the NFL because they all might get hurt.
But my counter to that is I'm putting the quarterback that I think is best.
So then when does he ever play again? You're going to give him. You're going to give him the $200 and something million. When does he ever play again?
I said when he put that helmet on.
And if he decides not to put the helmet on, that's what I'm saying.
When does he play again? I think if for me to get off that pine, all I had to do was put a helmet on. I would put it on.
I'm asking you a question. If he decides not to put the helmet, no, you didn't. If he decides not to put the helmet on, what do you do?
I told you, put him on that pine. That's what I just said. Okay. Put him on that pine, and then tell him this is how you get off the pine.
And pay him $45 million a year.
And you put that helmet on.
And put him $45 million a year to sit on the pine.
You're paying him $45 million now.
But he's going to play. He's playing now. So you pay him $45 million a year not to play. Okay. And guaranteed money. Makes no sense. You're not going to do that as an owner. And
that organization has an integrity and ethics problem.
Every NFL team does. Because they play players hurt all the time.
But it's been a long time since we had to watch it unfold live like this.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm gonna tell you every NFL team does because they play players hurt all the time.
I'm not denying.
We watched the Bills. We watched Josh Allen get knocked out last week. They lied and said it was his ankle, but he played. Never went into concussion protocol. So that's the NFL. So they're gonna continue to do that. So I mean, we go back and forth.
No. I think we're in agreement here, which is in our perfect world, Tua is not playing football right now, or he's playing it in the safest way possible with the guardian.
I agree. I've always said I wish he wouldn't play, but there's nothing that team's going to do to stop him from playing. If he goes in front of a press conference and says what he says, they're not going to stop him from playing.
The Lions
and the Vikings.
That was a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really good game. I mean, Justin Jefferson is that dude still. I love Sam Darnold. I've told you I've definitely liked him, but I'm a huge golf fan. You know that I love Jared Goff. I just feel like Detroit is a team with a little bit more experience in winning now, because this isn't their first rodeo at this point. They've now kind of, for the last couple of years, they've been building, and they got their coach, they got their motivator. They've all bought into the system. Sam Darnold is coming into that organization and changing that organization along with Jefferson, and it's a new thing, but they got some good veterans on that team that's holding it together. But I thought, just because I kind of felt like Detroit might get them, you know what I mean?
They did.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought they might get them, but I don't know if they would, if they had to see them. Like, I don't know. Like, I in the future, I think that goes differently. And I'm going to tell you why, because I know Aaron Jones wasn't quite 100% during that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we know Sam is still a little something, you know, because he got banged up a little bit too. And he's kind of, as you do as a starting quarterback, you work your way through those problems. I think if they saw each other, when they see each other again, I might be going the other way. I might would go with Minnesota over them the next time.
I don't know.
I think Minnesota is starting to get used to winning, and they got to go through some battles, and then you got to lose a couple of games. But then when you go back out there, I think you do it different the next time. So we'll see.
I think Detroit played a great game. They were missing their best defensive player, and they played a game. They didn't miss a beat, and
I almost feel like there's motivation.
Looked good. I think it goes. Yeah, to me, we'll see what happens. They're gonna play each other again because they have to. They're in the same division.
Of course.
I think, and the next one's gonna be in Detroit. They went to Minnesota and beat them. I'm gonna give it to Detroit the next time too. I think Detroit is the better team. Detroit's got something to prove from that. Detroit to me right now is a team coming out of the NFC. I don't know who beats them.
So I think we both agreed on that before the season or whatever. I think we agreed on that. But what I'm telling you is that that team is, to me, Minnesota is gonna work through some kinks here and there or whatever. But I love what I see from them and Addison, and you know, just I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to be going Minnesota next time. But anyway, I do love, you know how much I love.
I like Detroit. I think Detroit's got some stuff. They got a little chip on their shoulder from last year or whatever. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
And I think they were a little hyped up because we can do it without them, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see.
Yeah, do it for them. You know, do it without them. Do it for them. Whatever, you know.
Same thing.
Whatever.
Same difference.
The case may be. The Packers in Houston.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you take this one.
I mean, I think the Packers played well. Houston, I mean, Stroud had 86 yards passing. Just wasn't their day. They were not getting it done. I don't know if that's coming down. If people figured out they got a couple of injuries. I mean, Nico Collins gone. That definitely hurts. So they have to readjust also. But the Packers are a good team. The Packers are a good team. As long as he stays level-headed, and
scary,
be a hero, then you know how I am about the heroes. Just play ball. Stay within yourself and play ball. I think the Packers are a formidable team, and you got to watch them. That whole division. I mean, you got Minnesota, you got Detroit, you got Green Bay in that division. That's a tough division.
That's rough.
So,
that's rough.
To come out of there, you gonna have to play some solid ball. Some error-free ball.
You got to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Houston, I think they'll rebound. You
felt a little bit of Nico Collins being gone though.
I think, but they played without him before. So this last week to me was just an anomaly. That
I think, but Robert Woods also was hurt as well.
Yeah, and Stroud getting 86 yards is just that they just were not clicking all game, and that defense was on them too. So we'll see what happens, how they bounce back. Got a good coach, they'll make some adjustments. So we'll see what's happening there. But yeah, that game kind of surprised me.
Okay. What we got?
Bills and the Titans. I saw that as a blowout. I mean, the Titans are just. I forgot who was the quarterback for the Titans this week because they sat.
It was Mason Rudolph.
Right. Really? I mean, him and Will Levis is like.
I'm sorry. Don't do Mason like that. Mason learned from at least being Roethlisberger. He's actually at least a serviceable backup, but
Okay,
he
I don't
ain't
know
finna
what you
win
mean
that
by
game.
Yeah, you have to define serviceable for me later on. But yeah, they're done. I just don't see what the Titans are going to do. They're done.
If I was Levis, I'd continue to be hurt.
Yeah, the Giants, they put in Drew Lock at the end of the game just because the game was over. We played the Eagles. Saquon came out and had a crazy game. I saw a clip on the bench where Sirianni was saying, hey, you want to go back in? You get 27 yards, you break a record, you do this. He's like, no, let the other guys eat. Let the other guys eat.
He still wanted him, though. He was
again. Pressing. I think Sirianni is a clown. He just wanted to go rub it in the face. Saquon, that wasn't him to do that. To rub it in the face of the fans or whatever we played. That's how people get hurt. So Sirianni, that was you're gonna pull all the starters, but you're gonna leave Saquon out there to get 27 yards. He already got 176.
Yeah, that's
Daniel Jones, still not the answer, not gonna be the answer. Figure it out. So I watched the red zone versus watching a Giants game because it'll give me a headache. Yeah,
I'm just glad we was on. I'm glad they was on. Dallas was on a bye week. We'd be talking about.
Yeah, you can't talk no trash either.
I ain't got nothing to say.
No, and they like my family. They watch the Giants game, and I'm like, why do y'all do it to yourself and have expectations? Like if they win a game, yeah. Oh, I'm happy they won the game.
The reason why Cowboy fans do it to themselves.
Yeah. Do I expect them to win a game? No. Like even that we could be winning in the fourth quarter. It ain't over. I have no confidence in the team. That's sad. That's a sad statement, but that's actually where
it's awful.
It is. It's awful. It's really awful. The Jaguars, they won. Playing the Patriots, that wasn't no big thing. But let's get back to. I want to get back to our the other games. To me, were not really like relevant games. Let's get back to our closing thoughts, and we want to talk about that Liberty game a little more than we did earlier. I thought this was fantastic.
What Nike be on that game?
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Nike. Not that they need a shout out from me, but I wanted to give a shout out to them. Right when that game was over, they had this ready. So whoever's sitting in their marketing or whatever PR department, they have commercials ready. It was playing Frank Sinatra, New York, and then it spun around and you can see the ring on Lady Liberty's hand. Liberty has a nice ring to it. I just thought it was catchy. I thought it was classy. They always have that for their athletes, for their teams or whatever. And I just thought
I gotta get you that T-shirt. I'm working on it.
I thought that was great. Yeah, I have that. As long as I got the picture, I can get a T-shirt made.
Because I'm about to say, because that is like solid. Like,
yeah, I thought that was
around like everybody at that doggone parade ought to have that joint on.
It's a couple. They're gonna have that downtown. That's one of the reasons I want to go get me a couple of things. Yeah, I got to figure out when. I'm like,
if I'm, them old T-shirt vendors that be outside every event,
they're gonna be all over the place.
They're gonna have hats. They're not trying to hustle properly.
But I'm gonna tell you, the marketing department of the WNBA is horrible because you go online, everything's sold out.
I know. As soon as I was just like, when you went to get your hat, you were like, sold out.
You can't find right. Make some more. You sold out.
Right, dude. Don't say sold out. Say
back order.
Back order. Pre-order. Back order. Yes.
I remember a few years ago, Candace Parker, when she won championship with Chicago, said she couldn't even go get her own jersey.
I know.
But the commissioner, she walking around in her New York skyline dress. I ain't gonna let go. That ain't gonna let go
because it just set it's like a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Come on.
Yeah, now. Because they already have the perception that the game was rigged. And then you come out and I know somebody said to me, please let me say that she put that on because the Liberty won. If she had a Lynx dress on, a Lynx dress in the back room, it wouldn't have mattered. No, you don't wear it. You neutral.
Worst case scenario, you should have had one of those dresses that divided half Lynx and half Liberty. If you want to wear some doggone,
that's the Angel for the day. That's another story. But I'm not. You don't wear that. You just don't wear that. She wasn't. you know, ever since those comments that she made, or lack of comments that she made during that
Been
interview
on the
about the
outs
league.
ever
Yeah,
since.
she been on my list.
Been on one.
Yeah. So all right, go ahead, give me your closing thoughts.
I just thought that the coach for a particular team, that press
Don't say
conference,
particular team, call it out. Call it out. You're gonna say
for
it. You're gonna say it. Call it out.
Minnesota, I just felt like was absolutely, and hear me out. I know fresh off the press when you upset, but to go out there and take away from and not give the Liberty the credit that they deserved, I thought was absolutely atrocious. And I was really disappointed, and I thought it was not a good example to your players as to how to take one on the chin. And I always go back to Mayweather. Mayweather will say a champ can lose and come back. And my whole thing was, I thought that was just you sitting up there cursing at the press conference, acting crazy, like it was all off one play. To me, that you just did a disservice to the season that your team gave you. And I was not okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, she went on a tangent. They need a third party to look at the reviews. They need this, they need that. I think she started that earlier on in the series to set the stage. She had gone. It was funny too because they interviewed Sandra Brondello and she kind of laughed. But Brondello went to the officials. She went to the officials, but what that does is that bleeds out into your team. And if you ever coach, your team's going to take on your personality. I saw more complaining from the Lynx than I've ever seen.
Mhm.
I've seen more
Because
complaining from them than I've ever seen, specifically Kaya. Kaya usually is like, she'll throw her hands up, say something to the referee, and run down the court. Every time. Timeout, she's talking to the officials, she's looking at this, and they're saying, oh, she got beat up. So we can show all the pictures where she got beat up, or she got fouled, she got this. Let's show all the other pictures, like I said earlier in it. You know, you
go
gotta
show
have a
some
little
age. Let's
class.
go some Agent Wilson pictures.
I mean, we can go back to
Beat
that.
up.
We can go back through the season of things that went on through the season where I thought the officials were horrible. There was no consistency with the officials, and it has to be looked at. It definitely has to be looked at because you can't insert yourself in a game at a certain time, and then you can't, where the game becomes about what the officials are. You know, people say, let them play, let them play. You know, no, if there's a foul, you got to call a foul. I honestly saw at one point where I saw Stewie mug Kaya. Should have been called, wasn't called a foul. Right? Then went down, Stewie got mugged. Wasn't a foul. That last call, that ain't what made the series. That ain't what made the series.
Yeah, and I think that the Lynx have always been a respectable franchise, but I think I'm just hopefully that they can come back next season. They can, bounce back, have the same fire that they had this season, get behind it, no excuses, get out there and play good basketball and call it a day. And I think, I'm all about second chances and understanding that when you throw a mic in somebody's face right after something that's tough, they may not be on their best behavior, they may not come out with their best foot forward. So even with that, I just wish that she hadn't done that, but I understand that when you're in that position and you lose something that means that much to you, you may come out without putting your best foot forward. So
yeah, I
moving
mean,
forward, I just
she gave the Liberty props afterwards, but what you said, the props that you gave them after, it was empty. It was empty because you said it was stolen from you. So what you're saying, they didn't deserve it. Then you're gonna turn around and say, I'm happy they got their first one. No, you're not. So it was a little bitter. I know people are all over, because that's gonna get you clicks. People are all over the internet slowing it down. She took 85 steps. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. Come
I don't
on, we're
care.
not doing
They
that
got
though.
the trophy. John Quill got the MVP, and the parade gonna happen in New York. That's the
Yes,
bottom line.
and people they're gonna have a hell of
That's
a
the
time.
bottom
So
line.
you might as
Yep.
well
I
jump
got
on
I
board.
gotta throw something back in there. We can go back to these closing thoughts.
Well,
The World Series is
World
set.
Series.
Yankees versus the Dodgers starts what, tomorrow night? Thursday night?
Yep.
Thursday night. Starts Thursday night. Who you calling? Dodgers looking good, boy. They putting the ball.
You ain't let me finish. I was gonna say, God, it's hard to go against the Yankees though. It's so hard to go against the Yankees with Yankees history and everything. I'm probably gonna go with the Dodgers though.
Okay, I'm going
And
with the Yankees.
it
You
would
know, they
be
ain't no
great to
doubt.
have Big Pat on in here though.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, we're gonna bring him
and
on. We're gonna bring him on.
Get some real breakdown of why he thinks. Yeah, I'm going to Dodgers.
Yeah, we because he had some comments. He did want to come back and talk about some baseball, but I'm you know me.
No.
I'm going with the Yankees. In my heart, like Pat said on that show, in my heart, I'm always pulling for a New York team. I mean, I think it's the best team, but I think this team is a little different with the Yankees. The Yankees, the bat, they beat my Mets. They beat the Mets. They had them bats going. Both teams did, but the Dodgers got the best of them. I would love to have a Subway Series.
Well, my brother played in the Subway Series.
I know.
I may be the last Subway Series he actually played in it.
Yeah, the first and the last.
First, yeah.
So it would have been great to see that for New York to get that Liberty Championship and to know you getting the damn World Series too. That would have been fantastic.
Man,
but it's not gonna go on like that. So gotta take.
If it does though, if it's Yankees and Liberty, come on, man, y'all finna.
Yeah, that'd be great. Be parades all over the place. Yeah, we can get a World Series out of the Yankees. Be parade all over the place, and we got some other good teams. We always got Rangers. Islanders always a good team. Knicks looking good. So we'll see what's going on. The only team we can't depend on right now is the Jets and the Giants.
Don't do it.
I did it.
Do it, Linda.
I did it. Aaron got to get it together.
With you. Aaron would be upset with you. Aaron Rodgers don't play that, homie.
I don't care. Aaron need to get it together. Daniel Jones need to get it together. We gotta have to figure it out.
Well, the good thing about it, at least with Aaron Rodgers, there's absolutely the potential to get it together. I'm a little bit worried about y'all, Giants, but
I'll give you that. There is the potential to get it together. But
let's roll them. Let's wrap them up because it's been a great week. And
it has.
We looking forward to some good football. We ain't got to predict nothing. We'll tell y'all what happened after it happened.
Yep, we'll talk about it. And hey, remember, you gotta vote. Every vote counts. Pay attention to your ballots. Look at your ballots. You got people coming off saying, hey, the right names. They had to have corrections on their ballots. So make sure when you go in there, don't just vote. I'm out. Pay attention to what you're doing. And, until next time, people, please be kind and be blessed. Why, Tanisha? Because it's free. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.